the path forward, if we're not doing anything, is $10 million in losses every day. It's billions in repeated bailouts year after year.
A seismic shift as the federal government announces it's going to be asking Canada Post to make some big service cutbacks to try and bring the Crown Corporation back into the black. The carriers lost money for years and needed a $1 billion loan from the federal government just this past January. The Minister of Public Services and Procurement says he's asked Canada Post to make some big changes.
4 million more addresses will now be covered, well, in years to come, through community mailboxes. So that's the first part. The second part is we're lifting the requirement for Canada Post to deliver mail every day, so 5 days a week, to individuals.
Minister Joel Lightbound says around 77% of Canadians already use community mailboxes, and adding more will save around $400 million. Expected delivery time will also be extended so non-essential mail can go by ground, not air. And Canada Post will be free to end the moratorium on closing rural post offices, with the minister emphasizing some of the locations were designated rural in 1994.
And I'll give you some examples. We can think of, post offices in Richmond Hill, Gatineau, Stittsville here in the Ottawa region, Burnaby, who might have been rural in 1994, but are clearly more suburban, even urban in some instances.
Now, there is still one piece to the puzzle that's important for Canada Post, and that is to do parcel delivery 7 days a week. There's nothing really in today's announcement that forbids that. It would certainly allow Canada Post to do that, but that's where they need the labor contract that gives them that flexibility.
Marvin Ryder of McMaster University says this should have happened months ago when the Kaplan report on the future of Canada Post came out and made these exact recommendations. Ryder says this is a good start, but not enough to bring Canada Post back into profitability. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers says it was caught unaware by today's announcement, but the Jobs and Families Minister says they would have seen the Kaplan report.
All parties had access to that report, and I can't speak to what the union knew or didn't know, but that report was pretty comprehensive in terms of recommendations for everybody.
Minister Lightbound adds he's asked Canada Post to take a look at reducing the size of management and says he expects a plan on implementation and next steps in the next month and a half. In Ottawa, Shaoli Lee, City News.